Hello, comrades, and welcome to Bricksville, or the Mud Spot, whatever you want to call it. we have, I did a little leveling and a bunch of thinking. Not sure if that's a good or bad thing, but we'll see. See how it works out. But for those of you who didn't watch the last episode, you definitely might want to catch it to make all of this make a bit more sense. I did come over here and level out a little bit more. This would be a place for our ore processors. And the more I thought about it as I was leveling over here, it's like I think I really want to build these coal mines first, right? We may not build them all right away, but we can, as long as we do this intelligently, we can keep continuing to put ore processors out over in that direction so that we get at least a little bit of a balance. And the big thing with these coal mines is there's each worker, which I think there's 220 maybe workers, something like that, or is it? Maybe it's more than that. 220 workers could do 4.2 tons of coal, and then when we look at the ore processors, they could do 200 tons of coal. So each one of these, in theory, could create and need 4 ore processors. However, it's not at all realistic that this would ever get to 100%, right? I mean, if I got this to be a 60% one, I would be very happy. But then once I knew this was a 60% coal mine, then I could do the mathematics, right? Let's just call it 4 instead of 4.2. 4 times 200, it's like 800 workers to come to this mine. But then you got to take 60% of that, which would be in the neighborhood of 500 or something. So then that would say, well, we need more than 2 ore processors to process all that ore. So that would be like 2. And then we'd come and do the same thing with, this one. And okay, say this was a 30% one, right? And so forth and so on. And then we would just build enough ore processors along here to handle all that. And it might even, and all of that's going to get into the design of these conveyors and how they tie together. And of course, I would think that the coal from this one would mostly head to this, So I probably could build conveyors and storage yards, but I thought, well, let me just hold off until we have at least some better idea of what these first couple coal mines are going to do, and then we can lay that out. There's a lot of work to get these coal mines built, especially when you consider we don't even have any people up in this area. So I mean, in order to realistically do this construction, we're not going to be able to get people. Maybe they could travel that far. I mean, I know we built this construction office, so we could at least get people to here. But when you start talking much further, I don't know. So actually, the first place I'd like to start, just because it'll kind of be in the order that I think I would construct these things, is I came up here at the very end of last episode. I spoke of making another construction office and a storage area more than anything else. I don't know if I mentioned another construction office, but let me come over here to storages, and I kind of have an idea in my mind as to what might work out. And I'm thinking that we put a large aggregate storage. Now, it's a little bit annoying to me that they don't have the conveyor things and that you have to come all the way over to this other window. I mean, this is available in other place, but I'd like to get a truck unloading and kind of shove him where we think we could get a road. Here, let me turn on my wireframe. And let me zoom in so you guys have a better chance of seeing what's going on. I really wish there was a way to turn those signs off. I think we could get this connected up to a road. Oh, okay. If we weren't saving the game at that exact instance. Let's just make sure of that fact before I... Oh, yeah. So now this might end up being an asphalt road because... But you know what? This should be an asphalt road. We're going to have a lot of trucks on here. Let's do at least that much in asphalt. Like, these gravel roads are fine, in my opinion, for construction. And they're not horrible for trucks going up and down. But we're going to get people up here with buses. So at this point, I don't plan any permanent trucks going up here. But there'll be a lot of trucks coming into this. So in any event, we now have a aggregate unloading. And I'm doing this in a very specific order because, what can I get to? I was looking at the differences between these aggregate storages, and these small ones are definitely less expensive, right? So now the problem with this is getting stuff in and out of it, but I think that this might work out pretty darn well. Let me just square up the ground a little bit more. There we go. So we'll try to get this guy like right in here, right? Fit up nicely against that cliff. And pop back over to this one. I always just like to make sure my conveyors will attach. Now we'll probably, yeah, I think my power's down here, so we'll have to get some more power over here. But there we go. So we have aggregate storage. We can bring gravel up here, which is extremely good for doing this kind of stuff. And then we should probably, now that we have that in, think about a road. Oops, that's can actually switch to the road tool. Yeah, probably would have to come a little bit further out this way, or else we won't be able to attach that guy. All right, so trucks could come into the aggregate storage, and then I would have the road. Yeah, I really didn't build roads down to here, but we could plan on the road coming out. Now, this could just be, yeah, we probably get rid of this and just make it a gravel road from that point on. And then if nothing else, can I not? You were yellow a second ago. Yeah, can I get you to go over there? Let's get rid of this. Let's see if that. And let's do, well, let's do a little this kind of leveling, because I think we can get it up to where it's maybe not so red. Yeah. All right. Well, it goes from, yeah, that's right. So trucks coming in, and then eventually what I would picture is we could have another road. Yeah, I don't know if it matters, but we have to get, you know, truck supplies down here to build all this stuff. So, you know, I would picture a road here. But let's say we, you know, there's many things to still be done. Got some issues. I don't know if we can I get that guy attached? Yeah, good. I don't mean to get into this too much. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get down past there, are we? So we'll have to make sure we can get a road down into here as we go forward. I don't really feel like building a bridge for construction purposes. Then again, we could bring it off this way if we had to. We'll see. Maybe we can come down here, but squeeze between someplace. But like I said, I don't want to design this too much, but there we go. That's the idea. So these guys could get in and out of this supply area a little more directly to get up there and build things. So it's one of the reasons I built it up here with this thought as well. As we start getting all the way over here, we have like that supply office all the way over there. Like, I'm not sure that we would use it, but keep in mind, this supply office this stuff's just there already. We don't need to haul it all the way over to here. And then if we're hauling it all the way over to here, then we're kind of turning around and hauling it all the way back. So I don't know, whatever. It'll all get built. I'm not sure if it'll be the most efficient layout, but there we go. So we have those two things. And then what I was thinking of doing, and this is where I was really looking at the small construction supply here, or I'm sorry, small open storage is really very, it's almost the same darn price as this. A little tiny bit more steel for the medium one. I mean, and I guess that makes some sense, but you would think at the very most you would need more asphalt to make a bigger thing. Now, I don't want them to necessarily nerf it on us, but, you know, and then I was thinking that we could have, yeah, it wouldn't go like this, it would go like this. And we'll put it up against, or pretty close to that guy. A little further back, maybe, I think would still work. All right, and then same idea with, yeah, let's go over to the roads. I would get a road cargo station, and I would put that like here, just in case we changed our mind and wanted another one of those supplies. I think we could get it in if we put our road cargo station like there. So let's go and make sure that connects. Right? And then we would need a road or two. Would we go? Yeah, you know what? Let's go like that. And then this guy could be a gravel road. Can we... And again, trucks could come into here to get their supplies. They could also come into here, but I think, I don't know, do the construction trucks go to these? But in any event, the construction trucks can come into here. And finally, maybe I didn't leave quite enough room, but I could put another construction office. That was pretty good. By the way, I did not lay this out. That was just pretty good guessing on my part. Okay, we committed to all the roads, which is okay. As a matter of fact, I think I want to commit to all the railroads as well. Let's just commit to everything at this point. And we would need some of these. All right, so we have another construction office, which I think, you know, between these two, they'll be close. They have a gas station right here. They'll be able to get in here and start constructing. Now, there's this guy. Yeah, let's get him off of auto search. I don't think there's any way to shut these off of auto search before they go and pick 27 project, and you got to close them all. But there you go. So that's that, and that'll get us building at the next priority when we do put time on again. That'll get us building, you know, these coal mines as the priority. We can certainly start getting. We got our rail designed around here again. If you didn't watch the last episode, so we'll be able to start working on that when we get in here. That'll keep a few other people busy, and then I'd like to design Bricksville. Now, what I was thinking of is we're really not pinned in here too much, but I think I want to try to bring this through the, if you look at these rails, I want to see if we can't get it through the first section of rail there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get 2 railroad tracks through there, but hopefully I can delete just the right amount of this. Like, so we're going to start like right on this line. I don't want to delete it going through there because sometimes it can be a real pain. Yes, okay, good. We can see that. That's kind of nice. Yeah, let me just delete from here to here. Up there a little bit, right? And delete from there. And delete you. Yeah, see, like you could see it when we had the delete tool out, but it's annoying that as soon as you pull the... There we go, we got yellow. Come on, turn. No. Yeah, I really don't want to go through at that angle. Huh. Thought it was. All right, there you go. Let's see. If that's the angle we have to do, then so be it. I don't know. It's not that. Overlaps with existing construction. All right, let's turn that off. Yeah, so we definitely should be able to come more of an angle, but this is a pretty good starting spot, I think. I don't know why that. Well, that might be good that it's. Oops. Yeah, is that? Oh, good. I say that was a very poorly timed game save. Yeah, let's just see what that looks like. Really? You're gonna tell me that? Oh, okay. We're got so just a little bit. If I could move this one over, we're gonna have to delete. I might be able to get this one. No. Yeah, why won't you build? You know what I want to do? Let's level out. Oh, that was quite a leveling, wasn't it? There you go. All right, let's see. Nope. Ah, really? Close. Close, close, close. Come on. Am I just not going to be able to get through there at much of an angle? Yeah. Let's see. Let's start not angling it quite so much. Oh, come on, let me get through there, please. It's starting to turn into one of those. Yeah, let's just start like here. Really, you just don't want... Stop that. Yeah, I mean, it really looks like we should be able to get that through there, doesn't it? Now, the other question is, I built these bridges identical, but they put the pillars in very different places. Maybe that's it. See how that... Here, let's do... You know, I'm going to take a chance. Good, I didn't delete both bridges. Now let's do the bridge building. One, two, three, right? Yeah, so that's... It starts it doesn't realize that you're building a bridge over... Yeah, so there's that one. One, two, three. Come on. Oh, that's dramatic. So I hit 1, 2, 3 too many times. Yeah, and then see that I can't even see. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see, it definitely doesn't like that. So you just have to wait till that disappears. All right, you know what? I'm going to fiddle with this because I think it's just starting to take way too long. And I'm a patient enough person. Yeah, see, now it's not. Oh, am I on railroad tracks? I'm also not the smartest person sometimes, too, I think. All right, 1, 2, 3. Is that going to go back down? Just want to see if that'll put... Does it put that post in a better place? Yes. See that? It put it in a better place this time. Now, it's probably going to block us from putting that track back. But now, at this point, I also can leave that white and... What? No, a little bit too much. Yeah, you know what? Now we're going to... I think we just sort of messed up this track anyway. So let's just take this all the way... You know, get rid of it all. All right, that was almost... Yeah, so I think I'm just a little bit too much. Now, though, I think I can... Let's get rid of that. Let's just go a little bit... Yeah, see that? That's going to work. No, really? Come on. What is... Why would you stop? Look, it goes... What was... Were you overlaps with existing construction? Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, I don't want to go that sharp if I can avoid it. Yeah, you're through there. Stop. Thank goodness. All right. Yeah, let's... Too sharp. You know what? Let's take that back a little bit too. That one will be okay. I could have leveled from that other tool. All right. Not the most graceful thing I ever did. But what that does, so for all of that, it lets me put the road or a road in through here. Hopefully. Well, let me put a road through there now. Okay, so now why are you fighting me? Too steep. All right. Let's get you through there, and then we can worry about too steep later a little bit, maybe? Yeah. All right, so, yeah, that could go straight up there if you let me. All right, so now we can get a road into here with our construction offices. And I'm not sure if this would end up being an asphalt road or not. Let me just delete back a little bit more of that and hope. Right? So now the other thing we may do is this is the coal line coming in, and then this is the passenger line. We're going to need, the reason for a lot of that thinking and getting this up here is I may not even put a road in here in the long run, but we may end up with the passenger line in there. Let's see how all the rest of this goes. So, and then the other thing this does is gets this a little bit closer here. So we could put, what I'm picturing is 4 power plants. Now these power plants need to get people. And one of the problems with these darned power plants, yeah, I think it would be here, coal plant, is that the darn road is in the same, like, and that's, there's no people entrance into these things. Yeah, let's come like right here, say. Oops. There's no people entrance besides the road. You know, that's not, let's make it straight looking. Why not? We'll make it perfectly straight to the grid using the control key. There we go. All right, so if I came right here, I think that would be a pretty good place. And we want to leave a little bit of a gap, I think, between these two. Enough that we can get at least the power lines out of there, like sort of in both directions. A little bit extra here. All right, and then I sort of, I don't know if this line is in the perfect place, but we need to get a roads in and out of here. So if you look, each one of these I would like to have its own little coal storage yard. Now that's where I was looking earlier. It's like, it's a shame. I don't know if, you know, do we really, yeah, storages. You know, do we really need the big one? And another thing they should probably tell you is how much these things store. So this holds like this, oh, not that one. I'm sorry. The aggregate storage. And it doesn't, oh, it does tell you how much aggregate storage it holds. Is this one? Never mind. It tells you how much. All right, so 470 of the stuff for the small one. And I think that's going to be plenty if we put one. And then these are much more expensive, not relatively speaking, but they are more expensive. So on a positive note, the output is sort of on the right side if we get a road. Now the problem we have is this is awful steep, isn't it? Yeah, I think I might, let's do a little leveling. Especially now that I know where, I didn't lay any of this out. This is, all my leveling was just was just a guess. But what I think I'm going to do is level this up across here, so we could put those storages and probably even just get the railroads up onto this height. All right, now we're going to have to get people into here too, so that's something else to consider as we do all of this. So, and the more level it is, I think as a general statement, it's going to be easier to get all of that to happen. And I definitely want to do the people by trains at that point as well, because it's just, especially with the power. Now the thing is we don't need, this might be the place we use the trams. Radomir was asking me. Now again, I don't agree with the way they use the word trams. Trams shouldn't go on the light rail lines. They should go on street lines, but whatever. We've had that debate long enough in some ways. And again, I am not saying that anyone else is wrong in their language and in their country for using the word tram however they want to use it. It's just, when you use it different, you're not speaking English properly, right? And it doesn't mean that everyone always speaks English properly. That's okay too. It's just, just pointing out the confusion, if nothing else, that there's a separate European. Maybe. I don't know. A lot of the Europeans that are telling me are describing a tram as the British would say it. In America, we say trolley, but again, don't let that complicate things. All right, I'm continuing the bait. I'm going to be quiet. All right, so I think what we really want to do here is actually maybe put in those railroad stations first. They just need to be small train platforms. And if we did something like this, right, the hope would be, I want to go far enough off I can get a road in, even if it's a funny road. So we'll try to put this one in the similar place, and hopefully this will work out. So then, probably should move this one down a bit, huh? And the reason I say that is because we're going to put a storage yard. It's going to tend to be kind of close to where I just put that guy. So we'll put it down this way. I don't know if that's where it was. I think it was like here. Well, sort of like here. So even if it's a little bit longer walk to the one, that's okay. Did I put it pretty close? A little further away. All right, so it's going to be right at the bottom of the screen, more or less. But let's put it right in line with that other one. Yeah. See, that way I have room to get the conveyor across here, hopefully. Yeah, let's make those just dead straight. I think that will make it easier. And then we'll make these here, and then I'll try to make that pretty close to dead straight. And then this will be the trickiest part in some ways. Well, maybe not the whole thing, but yeah, so we have small aggregate storage. And the problem's going to be I don't think that's going to work, but yeah, I kind of want to keep it close. I don't want to start getting so far out this way, but if we just try to get, actually, we're probably better off in the conveyor section, because I think we can, oh, look at that. Okay, so now what we're going to try to do is put each of these in the same exact location. How do you guys want to bet if this is going to work out that well? All right, so now we want to be right where that line is, right on this line right here. Right? does that point? Yeah, it's almost pointing right at that. So if we go, let's just plop them all down. So I'm trying to hold it. Yeah, so this guy needs to be like, this is never going to work out like I had hoped, but hopefully this will. Yeah, look at that. I don't think that looks that great, but if they're green, they're green. And did they all connect? I really expected that to not work that well. Now, I think 4 power plants. I mean, we only have 3 of them right now. So I think, you know, that this is going to be a good thing. And then keep in mind, if we really want to, down the road, we can get more of that going. Now, the next question is, can we get the roads? And I would use walkie roads. And if we can go from like here, yeah, go under there. Yeah, you know what? I think I need to go. I don't care if they're straight or not. Right? Yeah, we need to make that one a little longer. Can I get you through there? Yeah. It's fine. Will you connect? Yep. And then we can get this guy connected. Yep. And then you'll go through here, no problem. Try to stay, you know, oops. Didn't really mean to. All right, and I'm making them walkie roads, at least to get started here. Because, I mean, these are our passenger train stations. Now, the only other issue is, yeah, these are our coal things. And what I'm thinking of doing here, I mean, the coal, it's just coal storage, right? So there's nothing happening there other than construction. And I could probably, I mean, just for construction and purposes, I mean, this shouldn't ever really interfere with anything. It's not going to affect our trains, even if there is some vehicle going in there one day, right? And that looks like, boy, that's like professional designing there. I'm getting better at this game. Just takes almost 1,000 hours, right? Somebody asked a week ago, and it was 850. So I guess it's fair to say 900 hours later, you can actually, and then you hear comments on Steam, you can't place roads. Well, yeah, you can if you, sure you can. All right, so I don't really picture many people coming in and out of here. Why don't we just gravel this one for the sake of having it, you know, maybe I'll even shorten it up a tiny bit there. But I don't mind the idea that we'll do a little gravel road there. And then, yeah, I mean, this stretch in between here, maybe just to make it not look completely weird, we would do this with the we can't go to regular road. Can we go to gravel road? Yeah, but look, it keeps the look of having the. Yeah, I don't want to build. Yeah, so we should be able to do this. Yeah, well, now I don't want a gravel road. I want a regular road, just to make it look a little bit. Right, because the people don't need to walk. The reason for the walkie road is to replace footpaths, since they have to walk into these buildings anyway. So we'll have trains dropping off people there. Now, I don't want this to be part of the same passengers that are coming from here, but we'll get into that in other words, I would like to have 2 separate loops of passengers that come into here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, so passengers that are going to come into here are going to, and it's going to have to cross this, which is our coal loop. So the next thing I think to do is to put in our coal unloading, aggregate unloading, and yeah, see, this is going to be a little bit difficult, isn't it? Just because of the layout of this. I guess we could pump this one. Yeah, we probably need to give it a little more room. And I definitely want pumps, even if I could attach them directly. Yeah, see, I think I want to level this up just a little bit further to give us some more room. Let's come down the end here now that we, again, know our heights. And we can make this... Yeah, probably that would be good. Not going to be red? No. All right, so we'll drop coal off, but another thing to say is we're just going to drop... I don't want to level too much because watch, we're going to take... This is going to be a loop around here. So we're only going to take one of these tracks as we do this. And so I'm not going to double track this into here. And we'll get to why very, very shortly. So train aggregate unloading. Always make sure you gather or grab the right one. Yeah, that should be okay there, I think, for the first one. And then we'll have... Yeah, I think we'll do, well, we might as well do very symmetric designs at this point. I could probably come a little, no, this is fine. So what we'll do, now let's go over to conveyors. And I want a conveyor because it's going to pump these things in here, right? So this one will be very short. Yeah, this one, unfortunately, I think this is going to have, I mean, I could try to pump it. Yeah, that's getting awkward too. Oh no, you know what? That one could pump out of there, but then, yeah, I might have to have two of the darn things here, huh? It's going to make it a little awkward for getting roads in and out of here to build these things, but might have to go a little further away with our railroad tracks. Yeah, see, I'd have to get... Well, we could go, you know what, we could go a little bit further tucked in. And then this guy could be pretty close to that, right? It might look a little goofy, but... All right, so let's build some conveyors and make sure that all... All right, so we'd pump out of that one into that one, and then we'd need... Oops. Yeah. This one... Why are you not building in the way? You're not really... Oh, yeah, building in the way. How far? Yeah, we're a little bit too close. We got to come a little bit this further anyway, right? Like there. I think we're just too close with that. Yeah, we're just too close with these. So let's just lay this out without that. Without the buildings in the way. Now we might change this. Yeah, now this it's going to be a little complicated, but really? I moved you. You know what the problem is, actually? This guy is tucked in there too far, maybe. I didn't really mean to run time too much, just because I'm not... Yeah, you know what? Let's keep this guy further out. Maybe even up further. Right, and then this guy could then go... Yeah, you know what? Could we get away with just... one? Since this is turning into a... I mean, these do connect at pretty good angles. Building in the way. Are you telling me this is still... Yeah, there's probably something that we can't see. All right, let's bring this guy even out further. Which could actually be a little beneficial. Building in the way. Now I think you're just messing with me. Unless it's in the way of itself, I think is what it might be. In other words, you don't have the right angle. All right, so let's turn. Yeah, there's nothing there that I can't see. So how is this building in the way? Is there some other... Oh, because I'm trying to attach to this. All right, well, you know what? That's not so bad anyway, right? So we need this to get it turned, but we cut down on an extra thing. So now that we've got that going, yeah, let's go and put in this train track again, this train aggregate unloading. Oops, no. Train aggregate unloading. And it would want to be like this. Yeah, let's not build that until we... Smooth this out a little bit, just so we don't have a big, huge leveling problem. Oops. All right, so I think we'll do the same thing on the other one where we build this other stuff first. And this is where you really kind of wish you had a... You know, I really wish we had a little bit more options for shapes of these things, which I know we do if I would go to mods. I imagine there probably could be a mod with a different... There we go. Yeah, so we're definitely going to probably want to get rid of this one. Yeah, so let's go up here first and see. Yeah, so it's already in the way. I haven't even done anything yet. All right, so you're going to want to be like I think here. Will you attach? Yeah, good. And then you're going to want to be out a little bit further, but we're going to try to keep this one down as far as we think. And then was the problem the whole time that I was... Yeah, I bet you the problem over there the whole time is I was accidentally trying to attach to like that other one. There we go. Good, that's fine. The other one's not so important. So let me see. Yeah, we would want it like there, I hope. That's fine. Now how's it look this way? It looks pretty good. Let's, all right, so here's what I'm talking about when I say, you know, let's get rid of a little bit of that road again. You know, I don't even know if a road's going to go through there the more I think about it, but let me... So that's a little better, even though probably could use the little tiny, yeah, little tweaking there. All right, so now 1/2 of this railroad track is going to go here, which will be the right-hand track. I guess for now, and then what will happen is, as the trains come out of here, they are going to go and feed a coal plant or a bricks factory. Now, you guys can see over here, now that the wireframe is in place, that this is kind of what I was thinking for the town. Now, we've come out a good amount further than I was anticipating, but like if I don't think we're ever going to build another 2 power plants or more here, but let's just leave it as a possibility. Having said that, the bricks could be pretty darn close. One of the reasons this was more level before, just to get the trains down. There we go. All right, so if this train comes down to here, makes as pretty much a tight turn as it can, and then has a train aggregate unloading like say here. Yeah, the road is facing that way, which I think is a good thing. Might need to come up a little bit more. Let's get rid of some of that railroad track. Long enough to my brain is not as quick as it used to be when I was a young man. I think that's why, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with professional baseball, but you really don't see those guys playing until they're old men. And it's not because baseball is such a drastic sport. It's just, I think that, it's just very difficult to have hand-eye coordination to be able to hit a 90-mile-per-hour baseball pitch. Yeah, you're just not liking that, are you? Sometimes you can do this and make a fairly decent turn out of it. Yeah, close enough. All right, so now we're just going to have one of those there. I don't really picture we need that many bricks in the grand scheme of life. And how much coal do we think we need in the grand scheme of life? I mean, for 2 brick factories, I don't really think we need 900. The problem with this, well, you know what? I like these things pumping out anyway. And you know what we can do? We can turn this whole thing back down. Let's make enough. Yeah, how are we going to get our road in and out of here? Because I think, well, we don't really need any people. This is just for construction. Yeah, I think I like that. And then if we ever put more power plants, we'd have to redo this railroad, but I don't see that being a huge problem. This is just coal. It's not like passengers who are going to get upset. And then the issue that I'm having here, or the thought pattern, the consternation, is that I don't want equipment for citizens. I want gravel, ore, cement, brick factory. Yeah, see, they're kind of big, and I would like to put my city right here, but I think when you think about it, I pushed all this out like further than I was anticipating. So I was thinking of the coal plant like here, and I really don't want to put it there because in the future, but we could just put it, we could just come further down this way. Away from the town. Yeah, I'm wondering, and by the way, I think this is, I'm obviously maybe rethinking. Yeah, because that's just going to be so close. Either that, I just have to push the town further out this way. Yeah, I think I'm going to push the town further out that way, because I would like to keep these people fairly close to the town, like kind of as close as I can get. And then we could have like a little mini train thing coming up to this. So if we were to do this, I would say these guys should face this way. And need flat terrain is... Yeah. So let me do a little bit more leveling. And what I'm going to do is I wanted to get... Well, we don't need a what do you call it in here? But I wanted to get enough space in between our town. And I'm thinking of even reorganizing the town. But let's Matter of fact, let's stay with me for a minute. That way we're not going to get the town done this episode, but I kind of needed to figure out where these things would go, if that makes sense. Might as well make you look a little smoother there, right? There you go. So there's 2 brick factories. And then what I'll have to do is again, we're not out of time in the episode. We still have a few minutes and 10 minutes or more. But, you know what I mean? I need to get a road past here. We need to get a road into here. I need to get these, what do you call them? Conveyors and mechanical transfer unit things. All right, so I need to get some of those in here so that we can get pumped out of our storage here and into these 2 things. So we'd have like, so I want to level this out and then want to get an idea of, you know, I think I need to move this whole city over a little bit. And then what I'll do is just to get your guys' thoughts on this. Maybe you'll change your mind. I think I'm going to push it out like, this city I want to design like as a long city with like, well, let me come back. Let me just come back and I'll describe it. I think you get the idea. Like, so while you're waiting this 2 seconds, you will have anticipation. But I'll just move this whole thing over to like here. All right. See you guys in a minute. Okay. I did, I think, enough leveling to get things going. And I changed my mind about the city. So I didn't do all the leveling. We'll do that in the next episode, our massive design of Bricksville. But the idea is that I just put a flat road where we would, this is what we're going to do. This is kind of getting off the subject slightly, but we're going to have like a trolley bus, you know, something like this. And then I'm going to, you know, kind of spin it around as tight as I can. Can I go? Yeah, like this. Yeah, that worked out pretty well. And you know what? Let me level up here just a bit more. And I might destroy this a bit, but there we go. And then we'd come down to here. So we would have like a trolley bus loop that would be able to take supplies to people every which way. And then when we got to like a point, like this would be where we'd put a station, say, right? And then we would level like in this area, and then when it level, you know, so we could build houses fairly close. And I would picture, to get started, like 2 sections of housing. I don't want to do too much of this right now. All right, 1 on either side of the road, and we might have in each of these housing sections some of this. Oh, that's a lot of leveling, isn't it? You know what though? It's doing goofy things. Yeah, I might need to level without the buildings there, if you see what I mean. Like, but anyway, like, so we'd have another section of housing here. Now they might have some sports and they might have like kindergartens there, but then like maybe in the next section down, you know, depends on how big each section lays out. Like it would, yeah, there's going to be a lot of leveling there, isn't there? That's right. We can come down a little further with that section, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't have to be up that high. And I would level out another section. And then so we'd have 4 sections of housing. And then like down here, I'd level out more. And this would be like the center of the town in a way, wherever it works out to be. And then I would have like a university, shopping, and a cinema. Because a big shopping center seems to, you know, get a lot of stuff. And then what I would do is on the outskirts is where I would have a train loop going all the way around. So we'll do a little mathematics before we get into designing this whole city. And by that I mean adding and maybe some division. And we would figure out, well, how many people, if we had all of these coal mines, 200 apiece, that's like over 1,000 plus each shift, 3,000, you know, and then these power plants don't need many people, but then we could have, the train lines could loop right through the city, right? So in other words, like if we declared these 2 sections to be the people that would go up to the coal mines and the ore processing, I would have a regular, like one of the passenger, like the worker rail could come like right through here. Like we'd even maybe build a bus or what do you call it? A bridge right there. Let me just go this far because it's fighting me a bit. See what I'm saying? Like, so like, or maybe it would just come right, there's the two sections might be right here. But then we could have another train that came here and just picked up some of the, right? So you could have trains coming in and out of your town. This would be the center section of town. And then if we needed them, we could have more people that would come in here. I mean, these trains could either loop all the way around or just loop back, you know, back through the same stop, right? Whatever, you know, like we'd have a train station somewhere here. We might have another train station here, depending on how we set it up. And then these people could get brought up to the bricks and that. It sort of depends on the distances and all that stuff. But does that make sense? Just try something new as opposed to my, I don't know, like tic-tac-toe shaped cities all the time. Like try to make a city that's longer. And what's a little bit appealing about this is as long as you had the room, you could keep going as long as you didn't run into something else. Like we have a lot of big open area here. So who knows? All right, so anyway, let's get back to the end of the episode when we get this part designed. So this is where I left you off, and yeah, this track would go back up. So just for the, oops, I didn't make that too straight. Pay attention. Stop talking for half a second, and let's make that look nice. All right, so if you picture these are stations right here. This guy could come up. Probably to about here. Don't need to take up too much room, and then join back up here. Now, do I want to leave it so that... No, this is fine for now. Just wondering, you know, I don't have that other track. So, coal, if you look at this line, comes out of our ore processing, which we haven't designed yet and won't until we do our coal mines. We come down through this track here, right? We cut under the bridge. So this is our passenger track going up to take people there. We come down, we drop off coal first to these unloading areas, which prioritizes coal going to, right, we'll dump as much coal as we can and then move on. We have storages for each of our power plants, so we should never run out of coal. And then if you have any excess coal, which I certainly would hope we would with 5 coal, I mean, who knows? We have a bunch of ore processors, let's put it that way. Then we come into this train unloading. Let's get rid of that so you can see them. And this train unloading feeds into a small yard that will feed our brickworks. So does that make sense? So that prioritizes the coal coming into here and then into our brickworks. And then any excess coal that's not used in this area will be carried back out on the other line here and come back down here and get fed into our exported from this area coal. And then that will go on to our regular coal loop, so that way we're always prioritizing that we have enough coal for bricks, and then any extra, as you might call it, even though I don't know if we'll have, quote, extra, would come onto here and could be taken over to making prefabs and cement. And then depending on how we want to prioritize the trains, and here's where the coal loop would be, right? Feeding into prefab and Cementville. And anything after that, or just if it's more of a priority to make steel, we could send coal into this complicated mess. So I hope that all makes a lot of sense. And I know I just sort of went through that, but sometimes it's not always clear. And as I put more and more sections together, it was worth, I think, the minute to decide on that. All right, so let's go over to conveyors and say we are going to connect the conveyor there. Now here we have to work out the roads and the conveyors. Let's look real quick. Yeah, so we're going to need to get a road in here, and I don't think we're going to get it past there. Now, these are going to be self-sustained. Like this is a train thing and this is a storage yard. So we don't, other than if, I don't know why we would ever have a truck that needed to come in here regularly, but we're definitely going to need to get a road across here somewhere. And then as we do this, we're going to need to get these roads out of here. So I'm just going to put them there just so I don't forget what I need to do. Let's, can we just go... Bring that back a little bit, will you? No, of course not. Yeah, let's go do that trick. Now again, these are, I think, just needed for construction at that point. There we go. All right, so now the bigger thing is, see if we can get, so we are going to, oh yeah, you know what, that would be good if we can get this guy over here, though I don't know. Yeah, it went right over it. I'm getting lucky sometimes. And then, yeah, we're going to need another one to turn this angle. Try to keep it close, and that might, yeah, say no, but I think we're going to, this will happen. As long as that and that happened, again, construction road, just, well, no, this is the brickworks. Yeah, this is the brickworks. We do, but you know what? That's kind of actually very good, to be honest with you. Just the way that even worked out, and I'll show you why. Something I hadn't thought about, and we'll probably design once we figure out more where the town is, but I think we would like to get a train station here, and that would start actually with a, yeah, I can get it from here without switching train. Well, no. No, I guess, do I have to, can I get it from anywhere in here? I don't think I can I now? I have to come back up to storages. There might have been somewhere. So I'm thinking we put in a medium storage here with the road facing, yeah, let's turn it this way for a second. I can level while I'm talking. With the road facing towards the brick things. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of leveling. Yeah, what I probably need to do, yeah, let's do, let it level the whole way there. Probably need to level out. Maybe I'll do it a little more. Yeah, can I get a road leveling going? Might be kind of hard. Sometimes if you go long enough you can, but nah, not in this case, or short enough, or yeah. So what I want to do, let's get this guy. You know what? Why don't we just drop this road down instead of fighting it? Yeah, there you go. LU. All right, just try to getting rid of some of that hill a little bit, just so it's not so drastic. All right, so this would be a road that came out of here. Yeah, these roads are no big deal. These are just, can I get that out of there? Yeah. Oops. Well, I'd want to get a road out to here. I'll take it. There you go. All right, so we can construct those, and then yeah, this. So these would be permanent roads, and then down here, maybe now, we could put a storage. Which again, I'll go over here. Nope, wrong one. And we'll turn the road so it faces that way. Let's turn it perfectly with the grid. Let's level out a bigger area. Whoa, it's kind of a big drop. You know what? Level up. There you go. I kind of like the way that looks. I don't know if I ever leveled that way before, where you just go right around the road and it makes it look kind of even. And the reason for the bigger leveling is because the buildings block you from leveling in the future. So there we go. So we would have a medium storage that we could take a train in and out of, which means that we would need to get train tracks over here, which will be kind of a whole nother project. But I would, as a general thing, think that we might build... Yeah, we could probably even build a railroad bridge over this way, huh? Yeah, this is all the way down. Well, we're not going to go across the lake, but would we build another railroad bridge where we could feed into here and put the bricks onto our supply loop? Or the question would be, do we tie in over here? We don't have to decide that today, but it's, this is our coal loop, so I really don't necessarily want to put too much traffic on the coal loop just to kind of keep it. And this is kind of far away, but you get the idea, I think. So now the thing we don't have at this exact moment is passengers. Now, what I'm thinking of is I don't see why we couldn't put a small train platform saying, man, we're getting a little bit far away. You know what we can do? We can, let me, make your game safe. Oops, kind of took away a little more of that than I sort of wanted to. So this would be a pretty busy road, so I don't want to get too, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go like that, like that. And you know what? We really kind of could use the road. You're just too close. Let's. All right. Is this all gravel road, I think? Yeah, that's all gravel road. So let's make that. Yeah, this would be. You know what? This could even be walkie road. I might clean that up later, right? Like if we put walkie road there, and then we'd put a train station. So I just did all of that to get this train station a wee bit closer, and we're running out of time here, aren't we? Let's see if we can't level up. Yeah, it's getting awful steep down that end. In order to get railroad track out, can't have it too steep. Didn't mean to build that road. Yeah, so can we squeeze this guy in now? Go as close to this as we can. Can we get a railroad track? Yeah, we would only have one. You're getting redder, not greener. It's too steep. There you go. You're doing a strange thing there, you are. But it is raising it up. And at some point, yeah, I just might have to do a lot more leveling work. But I do need to end the episode here. There we go. Yeah, I can live with that. Let's get rid of it and just make it look a little bit nicer. Especially right in that region. Right? And then depending on exactly what we wanted to do, yeah, there you go, mega. Yeah, I'm just sort of wasting time right now. Come on, do it for me. Make progress. Don't just sit there flashing. There you go. So the idea being that, oops, you know what, I kind of did it. I don't want to say to the wrong one, but game has some strange ways sometimes, I think. All right, so we would have a train track for passengers that would come in somehow up to our town. Again, this could pick off of any one of our sections of the city, and it depends on who has the longest train ride, and we can kind of do a little calculate. I might straighten this out so he comes back straight. But there you go. So we have quite a bit designed today, and I'm definitely running out of time. I can't make these videos too long or else I start having issues with file sizes and whatnot. So there we go. Bricksville design number 2, the power plants and bricks. And then the next part will be to get this going. Now, at some point here, I think we've got enough designed and laid out that I could start playing time. Like, right, we got a lot of stuff that we could build and, you know, like start getting this construction area going, start getting these coal mines going, starts getting supplies dropped off to here. So, you know, the only real issue is that I have other catastrophes going on around the map. So I'll spend some time, you know, just sort of leveling this out a bit so that it's not quite so, you know, so that we can get that designed in one of the next episodes. And then the other thing I really want to do too, just to keep all my construction offices, where did I go, busy, is we could start talking about the cements over here and the prefabs. And at least maybe getting, this will be probably a much smaller town, just a little dot on the map, as they say. All right, guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it. I better get going. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.